So I was looking online this year for some prop ideas for our haunted forest, and I came across a couple of these, what they call monster in a box ideas, and this is just really cool. This is kind of my own little version of it, but as you can see, it's just a regular crate that I made out of old pallets. And that was probably the worst part, is tearing apart those old pallets. But basically the way this works is, and I don't know if you can kind of hear kind of this monster growling, almost a snoring sound. That is coming from the box. There's a set of speakers in there with an MP3 player, and it's just in a constant loop playing the monster track. So the idea is that as people approach this box, it'll be up along the trail somewhere, and they'll hear this monster growling, sleeping sound. Maybe I'll have some signs saying, don't wake the monster or something. But if you look over to the right side of the box, and I'll move very slow because this is motion activated, that is our motion sensor. And that is just a regular motion sensor, replacement sensor off of a outdoor motion sensor light. Very easy to make. So if I make a sudden movement, this is what happens. Looks like a chain fell off on the right side there. So as you can see, it's pretty startling. It scared the crap out of me the first time it fired up, but hopefully we get some good scares out of some kids this year. I'll open it up so I can show you the mechanicals of how this thing actually works. I'll go ahead and disable it and turn the sound down so I can talk. But as you can see, it's just a regular, it's an AC gear motor, and it's a wooden cam that I made on the bandsaw. And we just have a regular lever with a drawer roller on it to provide less friction. The top I put a spring on there because I was a little bit afraid that if somebody were to come along and stand on the box or sit on the box, it would strip out the gears in the motor or burn up the motor if it's locked up. So what that spring does, it provides a little bit extra cushion if somebody were to hold the lid down, and you know, the motor will still keep turning and hopefully not be damaged. I don't know if you can see in the back, there's actually two gears on here. There's two different cams that I made, all attached to one, and the reason for that is because I originally wanted this thing to, in addition to lift the lid up, I wanted the whole box to lift up on that side. And you can kind of see that 2x2 on the back. That's what that actually does. So as this motor turns, this would actually lift up. Not very much, but just enough to kind of give a good vibration to that box. And it does work. I disabled it. I cut about 3/4 of an inch on at the bottom of that 2x2 just because I was kind of afraid that maybe the motor wouldn't put out enough torque, and I didn't want to ruin this before our haunted forest. So I'm probably not going to use it. It is kind of cool, but it doesn't really add too much to the overall effect. Okay. Moving on, we have just regular rope lights in the front there, and they're just kind of strung across all the planks on the box. You can use just a strobe light or any other regular incandescent light. Red looks pretty cool, in my opinion. We have a power strip. That power strip is switched by the motion sensor, so the lights and the motor will plug into that. And over on this end, that outlet that I put in, the top half is switched. So that is switched by the motion sensor. That's going to the power strip. The bottom half, or the bottom receptacle, is hot all the time. So that's where I'm plugging in the speakers and the MP3 player. Actually, it's an old phone that we had around that we weren't using with an MP3 player on it. But any cheap MP3 player will work just fine. You just go online, find the monster sounds that you want, and it makes a pretty cool effect. So hopefully you like this, and gives you some ideas to make your own monster in the box. Thanks for watching.